What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I'm here to talk about the next couple of events happening within the UFC. Now, obviously over the weekend, we got UFC 321. This was supposed to be a banger. This was the banker. This was the one that couldn't fail. And it ends with a fucking eye poke. And then the next week, we get David Garcia versus Steve Onama, whatever the fuck these two guys' names are. And then the week after that, so not only do you have to go through one Apex card where Waldo Cortez Acosta is the second most important fight on the card, but then the week after that, here goes another one. Here go one more. To quote the GOAT LeBron James, we got Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown as a fucking main event and Matt Schnell co-main eventing. What the fuck are these cards, dude? I'm sorry. What are these cards? Am I supposed to just sit here and just let this slide? I can't do it. I have to rant about this. The Apex, every time I think we're fucking done with this thing, and I think it's gone, and it's over, and it's done with, they bring it back. And this one is like a joke. It feels like they're fucking with us, dude. If this one is like egregiously bad. The fact that the main event is just two back-to-back NPC, here goes number 14 versus number 17 as a main event. Are you serious? And by the way, stop staring at me right now. Look at the screen. What the fuck are we doing, man? And the thing with the Apex, it's not just the fights that are bad, and the fights aren't even bad. I'll talk about that in a second, but it's not necessarily just the matchmaking that's pissing me off. It's the fucking Apex. It's like AI generated, bro. It is literally like AI generated MMA. Just skip all the walkouts. Force everyone to watch the fucking Adesanya Cube of Doom. Or the Kevin Holland, Steven Thompson. Thanks, Steven. That'd be so helpful. Again and again and again and again. No change-ups in presentation. You know, where's some new camera angles? I was watching a video by Vampiric Legs, bro. Shout out to him. He was saying something like, just let some new people commentate. Let's get Dustin Poirier. Dude. This guy fucking jumped the ghillie, dude. You know what you fucking did, dude. This guy's jumping the ghillie. This is my house, though. This is my house. You know what I mean? Let's get the ref camera angle. Let's get a POV watching Waldo Cortez Acosta getting slept, hopefully. Please give us that POV. You know what I mean? Let's spice things up. But instead, it is this fucking 2020 Elseworld where the pandemic never ended. And we have to watch these Apex cards. Damn, I'm gonna have some. These Apex cards main evented by just jobbers. I'm sorry, there's no disrespect to these guys. Steve Garcia, David Onama. These are solid fighters. You know, they're great fighters, mate. You know, there's nothing else to say, mate. The thing with these two cards, because this is really where I draw the fucking line. Like, I have no problem with an Apex card if we need to do it here and there. You know, Royval versus Carp, that's a good main event. Okay, I'm cool with that in the Apex if it's a good main event. With these two specific cards, right? The matchups themselves are actually not even that bad, right? Like Garcia Onama, these are two finishers on the rise at featherweight. Number 24 ranked. I know that he's ranked in the UFC, but come on, dude. You know what I mean? Like, these fights themselves are not even that bad, but it's just the fact that the main event is literally just two just two low-ranked randoms that, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter how good this fight turns out to be. Same with Bonfim versus Brown. I don't know why they're trying to gaslight us, giving us this fucking Miami Vice fucking poster as if this is gonna go hard. When these main events, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter how good these fights are. It does not matter. If Randy Brown goes out there and flying these Gabriel Bonfim out cold in 20 seconds and it's the greatest knockout of all time, or if fucking, what's the other guy's name? David Onama, or whatever this guy's name is. Steve Garcia versus David Obama. This is like the greatest fight of all time. This is like Dan Hooker, Dustin Poirier too. It doesn't matter. You want to know why it doesn't matter? Because these guys are literally ranked 14 and 15 in the division. Who the fuck actually cares about the outcomes of these fights? And it's the fact that these fighters are just simply not worth making a main event. These fights are good. That's what I'm trying to say. These are good matchups. But are they worth main eventing? Is anyone out there going, nah, bro, I can't come to the function this weekend. I got to watch Garcia versus Onama. No, that's the answer. No, I will not be watching this. I will be busy. I will go outside. I'll fucking touch grass. I'll do anything. I might even explore nature. I might even talk to my girlfriend. Like, bro, I'll do anything. I'm not watching Apex slop. Okay? And the thing is that pisses me off every single time the UFC does cards like this. And we get two of them back to back. So it's double fucking annoying. When we get cards like this, there's always these fucking fake hardcores, bro. Bro, you're a fucking casual, bro. You're literally complaining about a great fight, bro. Casuals complain about everything, bro. These cards are so good, bro. Bro, why are you complaining, bro? It literally starts at 2 a.m., bro. It's a great card, dude. Fuck you! You don't give a fuck about this. You do not care. No sane, functioning UFC fan with a fucking brain between their skull can look at this main event and be like, wow, I can't wait. I need to know who wins between Garcia and Onama. No one gives a fuck. That's just it. And it's so lazy. Like, the UFC doesn't give a fuck either. Any normal functioning brain can see these rankings, can see these names, and either go, who are these two? Or, oh, okay, that's a good fight. Why is that a main event? Like, who asked for this to be a main event? And you just know these cards are just thrown together. It feels AI generated, like I said. No intention of entertaining a human soul. No intention of, making something exciting and worth watching. It is literally just, these guys are contractually needing to fight. We have a contractual obligation to make a fight night in November, whatever. Let's just throw these two out. Who cares about the fans that pay for ESPN Plus? Who cares about the fans that want to watch the sport? You know what I mean? Imagine the NBA, they were just like, yeah, we're not actually going to put LeBron in this game. We're just going to make you watch Mason Plumlee versus fucking Jacob Poeltl. That's the key matchup today. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you. What is actually up with these cards? And the thing that pisses me off when I look at both of these cards, especially when you look at the rest of the month around, like Aspinall gone, great main event, just complete slop, disgrace to the sport, burned down my fucking crops, killed my family. You know what I mean? Terrible main event, just disgusting. Adrian Yanez is like the second biggest fight on here. And then 322, fucking banger. Come on, dude. JDM. You know what I mean? This is a great card. Sarukian versus Hooker. My boy Armin is back. Bro, Bilal, bro. Literally, bro. These guys are bums. Great fights. 323. Generational card. What the fuck is with the drastic, and I mean almost criminal, almost like personally insulting level of drop-off to the fans of these two cards of Garcia versus Onama? Again, these are decent matchups. Bonfim versus Brown, kind of stinky, bro. But Ricky Simone, Howney Barcelos, decent fight, Some of these cards are good. Muslim Salikov, decent fight. Uros Medic, I love him. Marco Tulio on the card. Come on, man. Adrian Yanez, right? These matchups, okay, if you put these on a fight night, I'm not mad at these. I'm not saying we need UFC 400 here in the Apex, but the main event really is the problem. My philosophy as a matchmaker, as the best matchmaker on YouTube, objectively, right? The idea of the UFC just swapping fights from cards does not get done enough. Like, they do it sometimes, but they need to do it way fucking more. Especially when they end up with a situation like this. If you are Sean Shelby or Dana White or whoever the fuck is in charge of this shit, and you end up with this schedule, and you see, man, 322 is a stacked fucking banger, 323 is a banger, Qatar's a banger, 321. How the fuck do you end up with these two cards and not see any problem? You can't switch around any fights? You can't give us at least a main event that's in the top 10 in 2 weeks? 2 weeks. You can't get a single top 10 fight as a main event. Are you serious? Are you serious? I don't believe that. Because with fight nights, I really feel like all that matters is actually the main event. Maybe one other ranked or important fight. Like with a pay-per-view, it's different, right? Like when you look at a good pay-per-view, you do need multiple ranked big name matchups. You need like exciting fighters. You need big names. You need exciting prospects. But when it comes to a fight night, if you look back on all of my videos, you look back on what other MMA YouTubers are saying, for the most part, all we want is a good main event. And the rest of the card, we will look at it and go, you know what? It's not even that bad. If Bonfim versus Randy Brown was a co-main event, I would be like, wow, that's a great co-main event for a fight night. That's really good. I'm excited for that, Rest of the card looks kind of stacked, especially if it's in front of a crowd. Same with Garcia or Onama. If you put a main event on this, and then you have these three fights at the top, I'm not mad at that. That's good. But it's just the fact that you expect people to not only pay ESPN Plus to watch this boring ass card with no hype, no name value, the main event doesn't mean anything, these two great fighters that are probably going to have a very entertaining fight, no one cares. No one cares. All you need is a main event. And when I look, like I said, with the idea of swapping fights, how hard is it to actually do? If they've already agreed to fight each other, Why would you not look at, let's do it. Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. UFC 321, Garcia versus Onama. This main event, dog shit. Fuck that, okay? Scroll down here, Rakic versus Mirzakhanov. We've already got every other big fight on the card. Why not just move that and make that the main event of this weekend? That could have been the main event of this weekend. It could have been Quillen fucking Sourkill on the main card of 321, sleeping Nasrat Haqparast, which was already the highlight of the card. And that would have been even bigger for him if he was on the main card and he slept Nasrat Haqparast. And then a week later, we get a main event of Rakic versus Mirzakhanov, which ended via nasty knockout. It's a top 10 level light heavyweight fight. Rakic has some sort of name value from fighting former champions and being one of the top guys in the division. Mirzakhanov's undefeated on this huge win streak, like 6 wins, 5 finishes. That is a main event. If this card was headlined by Rakic versus Mirzakhanov, and then the rest of these fights were there, that is a good fight night. Problem solved. I don't see how hard that is. Same thing with Bonfim versus fucking Brown. This one is just egregious, dude. Gabriel Bonfim in a fucking main event. Are you kidding me? Gabriel Bonfim, whose only ranked win is a robbery decision over Wonderboy. Randy Brown's bad. I love Randy. Listen, bro. Listen, JDM owns you, but Randy Brown's badass, okay? Listen, all right? If Randy Brown wins this is good for the JDM agenda, okay? I'm not mad at that, okay? But Gabriel Bonfim being in a main event pisses me off, dude. I'm low-key considering signing this guy up for 5 years of military service for robbing Wonderboy and then giving us this main event, okay? This is how I would fix this card, right? The UFC on Google, literally $7 billion company, can't even update it. This is what the actual card looks like. Main event, Bonfim versus Randy Brown. Come on, dude. Matt Schnell co-main event. I'm not even going to say anything. Ricky Simone featured fight. Okay, that's decent. Bonfim versus Padilla. That's a good fight. Okay. You know, Muslim Salikov, Uros Medic. This is a pretty good main card, right? If you change this main event to the co-main event, right? Co-main event's Bonfim versus Brown, and you take a fight from UFC 322, why not move BSD versus Beneil Dariush, which is on the fucking prelims of 322, and you want to know who they got bumped for? Fucking Bot Nickel over here. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna go, you know, pick some berries, maybe make a smoothie, you know, go hiking with the missus. This fucking guy is on the main card of a pay-per-view again. Okay, already making me mad. Now we have BSD versus Beneil Dariush on the prelims of an already stacked pay-per-view. Why not, instead of disrespecting them and putting them on the prelims, let's make BSD versus Beneil Dariush the 5-round main event for the next weekend's card. So main event, Beneil Dariush, BSD. Badass fight. Genuinely an interesting top lightweight matchup. Winner of that is moving on into like the top 5, top 6, whatever, not saying the next number, right? Co-main event is Bonfim versus Brown. And if you want to swap the card quality, maybe you take like, I don't even know, maybe you take Ricky Simone, Raoni Barcelos, and you put that on UFC 322. I feel like that solves the problem perfectly. I feel like that is a great example of you swap around a couple of fights and all of a sudden these two main event level fights of Bonfim versus Brown and Garcia versus Onama that are going to, mark my words too, I'm not going to be the only YouTuber making a video complaining about this because this is fucking egregious. And for the fake hardcores that are like, dude, this guy's always fucking complaining about everything. You are happy with this. You are a UFC fan. You are happy with Garcia versus Onama main eventing a fight night. You look at this, you look at these cards. This one's fucking egregious. You look at Gabriel Bonfim main eventing a fight night, and you don't see a problem with that. You don't see that as a drop in quality. You don't see that as the UFC being lazy, just going, whatever, we'll just throw whatever on the Apex. Whoever, you know, these hardcores will watch it anyways. Maybe instead of treating hardcore fans and the people that watch the sport every single week like completely like they'll just be there no matter what, we can just give them dog shit. Why don't you reward them with some decent fights? You know, I'm not asking for much here. I don't know if this video is like me asking for too much. I feel like swapping fights that have already been booked and agreed to make every single card just look a little bit better, just make every single card a little bit more watchable, especially for the hardcore fans that are gonna be here watching fight nights, that want to keep up with every single week of fighting, that need this as a part of their life. I feel like that is not that hard to do and really, really worth it. Because instead of what I just suggested, which is Rakic Mirzakhanov's the main event this weekend instead of being on 321, which already had all these big fights. And Quillen Salkio fucking gets to steal the bloody show on the main card of the pay-per-view, which is fucking bare minimum, all right? He should be fucking headlining the next card against bloody Ilya Topuria because he's coming for fucking Ilya. You know, that's the fucking truth. I can't stop looking at myself. I know I'm supposed to look at you, but I just can't. It's just weird. I'm just going to look at myself, all right? Let's just establish that here. I'm just going to look at myself. But yeah, instead of Rakic Mirzakhanov as a main event, which ended via knockout, which would have been sick, and Beneil Dariush versus BSD as a main event, instead, we get 5 rounds, badass fight, Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown. Really can't wait to see who wins this one. This one has so much stakes in the welterweight division. The winner is going to be borderline, barely unranked. Same with Garcia Onama. I can't wait to see the winner of this fight, fucking Dan Ige. That's such a huge moment for these guys to win this fight and go on to fight fucking Dan Ige on the prelims of a pay-per-view. I mean, this is just huge. These are 2 huge division-shattering fights, and if you don't think these are worthy of being main events, you are actually a casual. You do actually need to delete your social media presence completely because you don't know what you're talking about. If you expect top 10 level fighters in the main event of a fight night, if you expect the UFC to put on fights that are actually worth watching and that people might actually care about, especially, again, as the main event of a fucking fight night, when we have 2 weeks of this shit before we get to another pay-per-view that's stacked as fuck already, that doesn't even really need all of these crazy fights. It has great prelims. It has a great main card. For some reason, Bo Nickal on the main card. We have to put BSD versus Beneil Dariush on the prelims. We cannot possibly make them the main event of a fight night. Yeah, it's just fucking annoying. It's just like, what is actually the point of all these fights? Why are we doing this shit, dude? Why are we still doing this? Like, if we're gonna keep the Apex until, you know, the ESPN deal is over, I understand that, you know what I mean? I understand that the Apex is very easy for the UFC to do, and there's always these fucking guys that literally act like they work with the UFC or some shit, like they personally get a chunk of the revenue from the UFC, that defend this $7 billion company for just putting out slop. They're like, bro, it actually just so much cheaper production wise to put on, you know, Apex cards, bro. The UFC doesn't care what you think, dude. They're a big global brand. We know that. God forbid we ask for some fucking entertainment. God forbid that we want some fucking important fights to main event cards. I don't think I'm asking for much here. I haven't said anything about the actual quality of these fights or the quality of the card being bad. I'm just saying the main event is dog shit and it's not worth watching. It's not worth making videos about. It's not worth talking about. It's not worth your time or your money or my time or my money, right? Because I pay for every single card, guys. Seriously, I do, all right? And anyone that tells you otherwise is lying, right? But the Apex is just like, it's so dead, bro. If you're gonna use it, at least give us good main events. Give us good fights in there. I'm not, like, I wouldn't even be mad at some, like, experimental type shit. Like I said, new people on commentary, get Bobby Knuckles on there, get fucking Dustin Poirier on there, you know, whatever you want. Get Anthony Smith. 5 years ago I win that fight. 5 years ago these guys easily lose this fight. Yeah, I mean, when you take away his wrestling, you take away his striking, he's actually not that good. Like, let's get some new stuff happening, right? Let's get some decent fights in the Apex. I wouldn't even be mad at like some experimental main events with good fighters, with like exciting fighters, like exciting names and shit. Right? I'm not saying put Bonfim versus Brown as a main event. I'm saying put like Peyton Talbot as a main event. Right? Someone that we actually give a fuck about. Put John Pork as a main event against somebody good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do some cool shit like that. Put Wonderboy versus Muslim Salikov as a main event. I would watch that in the Apex. I understand it's an Apex. You can't put a title elimination bout as the main event, but still, dude, this is just slop. This is just way too fucking low quality. And the last thing I'm gonna say about the fucking Apex, you know, I've complained about these main events. I've complained about just how dead it is fight week, how dead it is promotion week. It just makes you feel like you're watching a sport that died in the fucking pandemic or something. And it's so weird going from a big pay-per-view that's full of hype and like these big fights, and you know, sometimes they're really good like 320 was like a banger. Right? If we went from that to this, it would be so depressing. But it's almost worse going from a bad pay-per-view to now this. Because the thing with these Apex cards, the fights usually are good. And I feel like fighters are getting robbed of hype not having these fights in these moments. Like, perfect example, Esteban Ribovic is always in the Apex. Chris Duncan versus Rebecki was in the Apex. Took years off the bro's life in front of 30 people. It's almost depressing to watch it because there's just no hype. There's no, promotion for these guys when they deserve it, when they have these crazy fights in the Apex. But the last thing I'm going to say about this, bro, and I mean this with 100%, I mean this with 1,000%, dude. If we go to Paramount, me and the UFC, we're a package deal, obviously. All right, I'm a hardcore fan, but therefore I basically work for the UFC. If we go to Paramount, and I see a fucking Apex card. I see the Adesanya Cube Paramount Edition. If I see fucking Kevin Holland holding Stephen Thompson against that fence one more time, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm becoming bedtime Bellator or whatever. Bedtime PFL or whatever. I'm gonna start covering fucking Eternal MMA, dude. I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm gonna start a fucking like a fucking NBA channel. Bedtime NBA. That'll be real. I'll do fucking bedtime movies. You know what I mean? I'll start ranting about the blockhead dude from fucking one battle after another. Like, I don't care, dude. I'm not doing Apex cards in 2026. We are done with the Apex in 2026. We're not doing this shit. I'm not getting hyped for this Paramount deal if we're gonna get fucking shit like this. Steve Garcia versus David Obama as a main event. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking joking, dude? Bonfim versus Brown. I can't stop saying this is one of the worst main event. There's been women's flyweight main events that I've been more excited for than this. On everything I love, I was more intrigued by Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Ribas than this. On everything I love, dude. This is fucked. And if you're the fake hardcore in the comments trying to defend this, bro, enjoy watching this shit, bro. You deserve this. If you're a fake hardcore and you're like, bro, these are fucking badass fights, dude. Dude, you're fucking casual, bro. Enjoy this, man. This is for you. This is what you deserve. You deserve PFL Contender Series on a Thursday night type matchmaking from the fucking UFC, the best promotion in the world. This is what you get for being a fucking fake hardcore, dude. But yeah, this is my rant about the UFC Apex. It's just a fucking disgrace. These main events, I'm sorry, I just can't let these slide. Like, there's usually monthly just Apex AI generated slop cards, and they're not bad enough to where I feel like I constantly have to make videos about it. But dude, this was a step too far. This felt like a slap to the face to the fans. I don't know why I'm getting so serious about this. It's just shitty Apex cards. But yeah, I just had to get on here and rant about this shit, bro. These cards are fucking dog shit. The main events I feel like I've made a very easy solution in this video, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think the Apex will be sticking around in 2026? What do you think the UFC can do to make things a little bit more exciting in these down periods when we're waiting for like another pay-per-view, when we're waiting for fucking JDM to come back? And by the way, I'm like officially sponsored by StreetX now, dude. So if you go to StreetX.com, you can use code BedtimeMMA, you'll get 10% off. I'll put the link and stuff in the bio, but yeah, dude, we are going mainstream. We are switching up on everyone. We are blowing up. We are selling out. But now listen, dude, let me know what you think of this shit in the comments down below. Are you gonna be tuned in watching this? Let me know. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at BedtimeMMA, and I'll see you in the next video, man. Seriously, stop staring at me though. It's really weird.